Today I'm going to show you a new fast way to travel that is not a monorail system, and it's so easy you can put this thing together in your sleep. What you're going to need to build the actual vehicle itself is going to be 8 flexwood, 4 flexwood rods, 6 wooden rods, 5 blast powder, 2 torches, 10 wood, 8 frost pine, and 4 iron bars. Now, this doesn't work without a track, so we have our material list for the vehicles, but what you're going to also want to prepare for is having a ton of wood. That's what our actual system is going to be built on. And also, we're going to want a little bit more additional flexwood and flexwood rods to build out our stoppers. These things are going to be necessary to stop your vehicle and not have it go crashing through and flying off the track. I don't want to list exact materials for that, just because that's going to vary build to build depending on how far you're going to travel. But I will tell you, I used about 2,000 wood, which quite honestly only took about 20 to 30 minutes to gather. And then for those additional stoppers, I think I put about 4 of them in place, which put me at about 16 flexwood and about 8 flexwood rods. All right, so you're going to start by using these rustic wide floors. These are going to be the 16 by 16 by 1, and they're actually 2 wood apiece. Before you do this part though, just find a place to start building off of at a desired height that you feel like is going to clear most hills and trees. In my case, I actually started building this off the back of my actual village home. Now, if you find a good angle holding snap mode, you can place these pieces down pretty quickly like I'm showing you here. Just place these down till you reach the destination that you're happy with. Now, because this isn't a traditional monorail where the actual cart itself is connected around a floor piece, you're going to want to have these rustic railing 3s. I think honestly any railing in this case will work out just fine. These are the ones I chose to use because they were cheap. They're only 1 wood a piece, but you're going to want to line both sides. That way, if your vehicle starts to veer off to one side, it's not going to go flying off the rail. Now I'm going to walk you through a stopper system that I came up with. Many of these types of travel systems have big issues when it comes to failing to stop when you should, or just the thrusters not turning off and having your vehicle completely breaking through where it's not supposed to, and you have to kind of start all over and build a whole new vehicle. So this system I have tested several times, and as you're going to see right here, going full speed into this thing doesn't even phase it. Now, trust me when I tell you, do not try to skip this part and wing it, because I spent at least an hour coming up with all these different designs that I thought were going to work, and just like over and over, they just continued to fail. In some cases, the car would just continue to blow right through it and get stuck, and therefore I had to knock the whole thing down and start over. In other cases, the front end would hit the blocks and then lift up and flip the entire vehicle over, so I had to build a whole new vehicle. Just follow this one step by step, that way you don't have to waste a bunch of time like I did. All right, so once we have those down, we're gonna go and grab this rustic beam 3 from the support menu, and just make sure that it's not too low to the ground like this, because what'll happen is the front of your car will actually smash into it, and it'll break a piece of the car and it'll go flying through. We're gonna wanna raise it up just between those 2 little notches on our beams that you see there. So right about there should be good. Now we're going to move into the toys, and we're going to grab these small wheels where we're going to place one in the front. And then, all right, so for this part, we're just going to drop a second rustic beam here, and then we're going to go back into our toys where we're going to grab these small wheels and just place them right underneath the front beam. What this is going to do is it's actually going to pad the wheels and stop it from blowing through this entire section. So the way we're going to build our vehicle is by taking one of these wooden pillars here. I'll use the log pillar 2. We're going to place this down directly in the middle of our bridge, and then we're going to move over into the wooden foundations. We're going to use wood foundation 2 and just place that sucker right on top like you're seeing here. I'm going to put another one off the back, and then we're going to grab the side here and line them up right in the middle. Now the way to tell that they're right in the middle is just by simply looking. You'll see that little row of 3 right up the middle there. That's how you want it to look. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And now at this point, we're going to go into our toy section, grab our large wheels. We're going to want these to be lined up directly with the front and back of the vehicle. And we're going to do the same thing on the front. knock this down, and it should fall right onto the track just like that. All right, so now we're in good hands here. All we need to do now is start placing our thruster placements. And we can easily do this by grabbing this rustic thin floor 6. We're gonna put it as close to the wheelbase as you can and then just nudge it back a space. We're gonna do the same thing on the back end. Right up against the wheels, nudge forward 1 space. From here, we're gonna go back into the wooden foundations, and we're gonna grab wood foundation 1 and place these right on the edges here. The one thing that's important for this part is just make sure that they're evenly spaced and lined up directly with each other like that. Do the same thing on the back. Just take a... All right, so now that you've got them all evenly spaced and squared up, we can take another one of these and put it directly. We're gonna center it, and then we're gonna nudge it a space because we're gonna want to leave room for our chest. All right, so now that we got that center block down, we're gonna go back into toys. We're gonna put down our switch. This is gonna control our thrusters. And then these blocks that we have here, depending on which way you actually want to go, is going to depend on where you want to place the thrusters. So if we want to head back this way, we're going to make sure the thrusters are on these supports. Once you got those bad boys in, now you're going to want to stand on this for now, because for whatever reason, if you're on these blocks, you will actually lag out and glitch off the side. So make sure before you give her a test, stand on top of the actual switch and then let it rip. This thing moves really fast. All right, so now for storage, all we're gonna wanna do, we're gonna come into the furniture section. We're gonna go on over to the chests. And in this case, we're actually gonna use a master chest. We're gonna drop it right on the actual foundation piece. So that way you've got a place to store any extra materials for long hauls and adventures. So even with the chest on here, you could still cruise pretty quickly. And just like that, our stopper system worked just as we intended it to. So this next part is extremely important because in order to head the other direction, we will be knocking these thrusters off and placing them on the opposite placement blocks. But before we do that, one of the important things you're going to want to set up first is come into our floors and just grab this wide floor here. This is rustic wide floor 2. We're going to place these down on the outer edge of this. You're going to kind of like place it here like you're seeing on top of these other floors and just nudge it off to the side till you get a place to snap it in. And what these are going to do is these are going to protect the material from falling off the side. Because if you knock them off, sometimes they scatter around and then it falls all the way down on the ground. You don't want to have to continue to use new blast powder and a bunch of that to build out your thrusters. So just get these down in your bay where you're actually kind of bouncing off of that. And then now when you've got those down, when you come in here to knock your thrusters off, if you're close enough, sometimes you'll gather it all, but every now and then it scatters like that. These will catch that from falling off the side, and then you can just simply jump back on, go back over to your thrusters, and place them to head in the opposite direction. Now, again, standing on this chest is going to be crucial, so you don't fly off when you're standing on it. For whatever reason, if you're standing on the actual foundation blocks while this moves, your guy will kind of skip and then he'll flop off the side. You don't want that. So once you get close to your destination, just go ahead and hit that switch. You don't necessarily always have to end up going straight into the stoppers. You can stop a little early. This game is very unpredictable, as many of you may know when you play this a lot. Sometimes things that work today will not work tomorrow, so just, you know, build these things with caution. You don't always want to push it to the limit because you don't want all your hard work to go to waste. So So we're going to do a 1,000-meter test here in a moment to see exactly how fast we can cover that distance. But before we do that, I wanted to just show you something. So this is a cool system as well, because you can have it stop at certain places like this, just throw down a launch pad, and then continue on your merry way. So when you're building this out, you run into a mesa or a giant hill, or maybe you want to put down a village, you can just have it stop like that, hit the jump pad, and then build another car and just continue on your way. All right, now let's see how quickly we can cover 1,000 meters. 3, 2, 1, blast off. So I don't know about you, but I just checked the clock. We traveled 1,000 meters in about 1 minute and 20 seconds, which is going to save you so much time when traveling back and forth between biomes. Also, having that master chest on deck doubles your inventory. So if you've been traveling back and forth with just your backpack, this is going to be a great way to save you a lot of trips back and forth by allowing you to double your capacity of the things that you're going to be moving. If you found value in today's tutorial, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And I do want to mention, I notice about 95% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. So if you want to help me out and support me to continue putting out these build tutorials, be sure to be subscribed and stay tuned for the next one. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, and we'll catch you later.